Hey, welcome. This is a one-night trip into the Alpine Lakes wilderness up the Necklace Valley, which is also called the East Fork Foss Valley, I think. And then pushing up into the Tank Lakes Basin, which is somewhere I've tried to get for quite some time. This had the potential to be a two-nighter, as I was gonna see if I could try and do a loop, but that hasn't happened. So, hope you enjoy watching. All right, here at the Trailhead. It's a gorgeous sunny day, about 12:30 in the afternoon on Friday. Oh my gosh, you can't even see, it's so sunny. We got a little drink for luck. And we're off. It's one of the weirder starts to a backpacking trip and a hike that I've had, simply because I've been able to hear heavy machinery the entire time so far. And I don't know if that's some logging stuff nearby. I know there's a fair number of roads that go up that way. I don't know if it's road work, if they're regrading. The road that I came in on was in excellent condition and clearly had some recent work done on it to make it that way. But I mean, it's the middle of a Friday, it's a work day, and people are at work, and I can hear them. This is our first real glance at what maybe is Mount Hinman, or maybe is just a smaller mountain in the way. But Mount Hinman is a place that's climbable from where we're going. I'm not probably gonna head that way, but it's nice to start to see some peaks. It's a nice little wetland that we barely get to see on the trail. It's called a lake on the map, but I don't see any open water. There's lots of open space and grasses though. Our first bear scat of the trip. Wave to the bear, everybody. I just had a bee fly into my shirt and get stuck there. And then I got stung right in the middle of the stomach and had to rather frantically try to get the bee out, as well as vacate the premises, since I know that with many species of bees, when they sting, they release a chemical that makes other bees go on high alert and want to sting you too. So that was a first for me on a hike. It wasn't super fun, but fortunately it doesn't seem to have been the especially painful variety. This stump served as a nurse tree, a nursing log. This tree grew at the top of it. Then the stump decomposed, leaving just the top where the root system is, and space. Here's where we turn right and head up that drainage, where things are gonna get very steep very fast. First, however, we gotta cross this river. success. I think that I'm about to where I turned around when I was here 2 years ago, when I was defeated by blisters and inexperience. I've got a couple things going for me now. One is no blisters. 2 is more experience. 3 is trekking poles. 4 is should be in better shape than August of 2020. Up the stairs we go. Jade Lake. Uranus, the view from this site is unreal. This is a campsite. You could tent here, you could hammock here. It's on a tiny little island in the outlet stream of Jade Lake. This is nuts. I mean, this looks like Artist Point up by Mount Baker. This is fabulous. And I don't even know if I'm gonna stay here tonight. I might just go further. Baby. Would you look at that? I don't know what it is. Not sure if it's a bathroom or a shelter. It looks a little large to be a bathroom, but what it is. It is a shelter. Necklace cabin. Maybe I just wasn't reading closely enough, but none of the stuff I was seeing mentioned this at all. Oh, don't fall down. Doesn't look all that comfortable, but if it keeps the rain off, I suppose you can't complain. I believe this is Emerald Lake. Could be wrong. I need to relook at the map. This is our final necklace lake, which I believe is called Opal. Although just with all these names, big citation needed. I'll fact check it, you'll see on the screen. But I think this is gonna be home for tonight. Not a bad view. If we're lucky, we'll get to watch this turn orange as the sun sets. I'm not expecting to be lucky. I'm expecting the sun to be blocked from hitting this before we get to the orange stage. But I think I'll just set up hammock on these couple trees and have some rest. It's been, how long has it been? I started at 12:30, it's 6:30. It's been 6 hours of hiking with some rest, of course, but a very full afternoon. Well, I think that's just about it for today. Gonna bed down and do some reading and enjoy the view. See you tomorrow. Well, good morning and welcome to day number 2. Time to put our stuff together and see what there is to see up here. And we're off. I found the name of this, by the way. That is Laban Peak. And the saddle over to the left of it is Laban Gap. So that waterfall down there, there is supposed to be a route where you roughly follow it and sort of switch back up around the waterfall and just follow that up to that ledge up there. And I guess I can see that it's technically possible, but man, that would be quite the route to go up. We can look back, finally getting some views north of Highway 2, which is where we came from, and up to where we're going to try to get to today. Going to try to crest this ridge and get into the Tank Lakes area, if we can do it safely. You can see my extremely sexy bandana. Try to prevent my neck and ears from getting sunburned if I can, but mostly just gives me style points, and it blows majestically in the wind, as you can see. confident in my skiing skills. This might be a much more fun day. It's our first volcano sighting of the trip. Glacier Peak. Looking glorious. Made it to the saddle, to the pass. Here's ahead. Here's behind. The look at Glacier Peak over there. Here's the rather small Little Tank Lakes area. They're not so much lakes now and more puddles and snow. Although you can't see where the lake should be and where you definitely don't want to be walking. Tank Lakes down there that we were just looking at. Here's the other side of the ridge. And all its sketchiness. There's Otter Lake down there, and what I believe to be Azurite Lake as the frozen over one. Otter's the bigger blue one. Oh, my butt's all wet. How did that happen? So our play, more or less, is get down to Otter Lake by some means, some glissading, some bushwhacking, then circle around, back up to Azurite Lake, do some more climbing over a ridge, and then we'll get onto the West Fork Foss Lakes Trail, hopefully, where there's a whole sequence of lakes and, again, at least some manner of trail. But first, we gotta lose some major elevation. Man, that's fun. Oh. Not too bad at all. Oops. Getting down in a graceful manner. It's always a legitimate question. Round 2. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, that's in my shirt. The tricky part here is I brought the snowshoes and the ice axe and my poles, but I didn't bring like spikes or crampons or anything, so I can't wear the snowshoes for this, for glissading. That is very dangerous for my ankles. But it means on these little walking sections, it's kind of sketchy. I don't have a whole lot of traction. The snow is very mushy. Very mushy. Indeed, I really ought to be holding this in my left hand. The ice axe goes in the hand that's above. The hand that's on the upper side of the slope. But all I really wanted to do was get over to this point so that I could have a free slide down. And it looks like I do. Whoop. All right. Round 3. Oh, this snow is really lumpy, which is concerning. Lumpy snow means there was some form of avalanche here, which I don't like. I don't like it at all. Sam, I am. No, sir. In a cliff head here? Kinda hope I'm not, but it kinda looks like I am. Great! Good job, everybody. Yep, we're gonna cliff out of a major way. Okay. Awesome. That's what I like to see. Alright, well, I cliffed out, which means I got to a point here where to keep going forward would mean going over a cliff, which obviously not so good. Now there are alternate routes down. You could go over there, but I don't like how steep it is, and I don't like that it would be glissading directly over water. We could go over there, but there's a similar danger. So I've just decided to see if I can head back, which will require a bit of a hairy climb, like back up where I was sitting down earlier. But on the whole, I haven't actually come that far. So the closest, safest option for me is to head back up, because compared to how far down I still have to go and the continued route finding down there, this is by far the best. And I know the big descent on the other side of the pass that I came up earlier, I know that there's no danger of cliffing out there. I know I've already been up it, so I know the good route down, so I'm confident in being able to get down easily from there. But it's just, there's too much unknown here, too much terrain that I'm not familiar with, so it's really easy to go the wrong way and then have to backtrack, and you end up stuck through trees and bushwhacking like there's no tomorrow. So alas, there will be no loop today, or this weekend rather. I'll just be heading back the way I came. When I was choosing the route down to Glissade, which, as we have already noted, turned out to have been a bad route, but when I was choosing it, I wasn't really factoring in having to come back up. Right? The plan was to go down. and go down fast. Which, that's a lesson learned, is that it's worth taking that into consideration if you do have to turn around. But it means that the way up has been somewhat more stressful than I would probably prefer. Just in terms of ease of getting back up and being slightly technical, and with all the kicks, step kicking and ice axe work. When I say step kicking, here's what I mean. I'm literally, as I go, kick yourself a step. I'm not just walking over the snow. Right. Making sure there's a flat spot for my foot to land that's somewhat dug in and compacted down so that that snow is firm and far less likely to give way beneath me. And that's how you go the entire way back up until it gets flat, consistently flat enough to put the snowshoes back on, which take a lot of that worry away because they have big ol' metal cleats on the bottom that will dig into the snow for me. Although you still often have to do it with snowshoes. We're a little exposed up here, can you tell? It just blasts you. I haven't seen a single person up here today, or a single person today at all. I started at 8, it's 11:20. I'm sure there are a few up here. I mean, the weather's gorgeous, and this is a popular route to be able to access some peaks, whether they're climbers, or we're trying to do the same thing I was and loop over to the West Fork Foss River Lakes area. But this is so remote, we just haven't run into anybody. It helps that there's no real trail, of course. But we are deep in it. And it's worth mentioning, of course, in terms of not seeing anybody, that it's really easy to see people up here. There's no trees in the way. I should be able to point out anybody that's moving. But nothing. Absolutely nothing. Was a last look into the Tank Lakes Basin. I hope to return at some point when it's slightly less snowy. You can see the beautiful rock formations. On this mushy snow that's a little downhill, the snowshoes don't keep their traction amazingly well. And so you start to like ski just a tiny bit. Like I put my foot down and then I slide from 6 inches to a foot every time, which that's no problem. It's when it gets bigger than that, then you have a problem. Here we are back up at the saddle at the pass between the Laban Basin and everything else that was back there. I think I'm gonna go home. I set out with a couple goals on this trip. One was to actually get up to the Necklace Lakes, which I did. Check. I've been defeated in the past on that count. 2 was to get up to the Tank Lakes Basin if it was safe. I did that. Check. 3 was to try and connect in a loop with the West Fork Foss River Lakes if it was safe. I tried that. It was not safe. Turned around. That's still a check. We attempted it. So I've done everything that I wanted to on this trip. It's beautiful out here and it's a marvelous weekend, but I'm ready to go rest, I think. So this will probably just be a long day. We got to go all the way back down and then follow the trail back. Fortunately, I'm hoping it will be a little easier going downhill all the way than coming up here. Now it's time for what I'm hoping is a very fast and very fun descent. The snow might be so mushy that I can't actually get any momentum going. We'll see. Well, definitely not there is the answer. No momentum there. Absolutely not. All right, now let's give it a shot. Woohoo! Come on. Come on. It's just a nice, gentle, this is so slow. I'm riding a snow sled. The snow between my legs is just coming for the ride with me. Well, that was decidedly PG. Holy cow, everything got super wet from glissading, but it's really sunny and we have a bunch of time left in the day. So let's dry everything off. As you can see, I am wearing leggings. But yes, that is my underwear on the ground. I don't get to do this in Washington much, usually because if you're all wet, it's because it's raining, and that doesn't really stop. But it's nice to get wet on a hot day and be able to dry off somewhat. These shoes aren't going to dry out, that's for sure. But nice to take a break. This is such a weird crossing. There's a really thin snow bridge, which is sketchy as heck. However, the snow bridge is on top of some rocks. It seems to be barely above them. So the risk, even if you fall through, you're not falling into any deep water, it seems. And it's the way I came, so we're gonna check it out. See if it works. Very gently. This will not be here for much longer, that's for sure. Woo! Honestly, that's the worst part of all this snow. It's not the navigation or anything, it's just the snow bridges over small streams that you can't really be sure if you can trust. Great example of a super sketchy snow bridge. I mean, I crossed this yesterday and I was sketched out by it then. It's gonna be thinner now. We'll see. We shall see. Let's go. Jade Lake from the south end. It's clearly a lot more melted today. Yesterday. Gosh. Nope. All right, well, I'm exiting the lake basin and beginning the long descent. I saw my first person at the spot I showed you yesterday, where you can see the mountain's reflection in the water, that excellent campsite that I did not stay at. That's the first person I've seen the whole time in the lake basin, the only person. I saw people on the trail yesterday, and I'm sure I'll see more again today. But only one person the entire time in the actual destination. And that at the very start of the destination, not even like into the basin, right at the edge. But that's gonna be it, I think, unless I see something really more exciting. But I've already showed you what there is to see from this section, so thanks for watching.